Hello and welcome back once again to Viking Whiskey. Today I'm tasting a 15-year-old Springbank. This is the Springbank Rum wood that was bottled in 2019 at 51%. It got really good reviews, so let's see what it's all about. Details on the screen right here. There it is. Really not a lot of rum in the nose, I can reveal. This is basically your standard bourbon barrel, even sort of a lowlands nose. Well, almost. Some very vague smoky notes as well. So, vanilla, bits of honey, some hay leaning towards freshly cut grass. Those smoky notes I just mentioned. Some dried herbs. Very light marzipan. And just a hint of dried figs somewhere down there. Very light acetone as well. Not the vaguest hint of anything rummy. Let's see what the flavor brings. Definitely has a different note to it. I'm trying to figure out if it's good or bad. It's like way back you have this battle between some massive spices and something insanely sweet. It's going on there on the back of the tongue. It's definitely a different note. Leaning towards something minty. This is minty freshness with lots of wood spices and a really massive sweetness, which, as I said, is usually on the front of the tongue, but in this case is on the back. This is almost sort of fishy character to it. Starts off very odd, but alcohol is fine, good level. This is not too sweet, it's not too dry, not too anything right here. It's just this odd battle going on back there. Let's see if we can tune in some more in the second chew. All right, sweetness comes a bit more up front. This is a cane sugar sweetness. Very sort of a coarse sweetness. Not very complex. A bit of oak coming out here. There's lots of barley. There are hints of vanilla. some honey. This marzipan is playing around as well. All a bit sweet. There's no real complexity around it. Here you get more traditional notes of toffee and it's getting a little bit drier. There's some smoky notes coming on. This live tobacco leaf here. Not very intense. But right now we have good dose of sweetness, good dose of oak and dry notes, wood spices, some dried herbs, and these tobacco leaves. It's not bad at all, but it's also just a bit run-of-the-mill. I'd hope for a bit more different experience with this rum wood. Well, anyway, on the finish, it's still quite sweet, but there's a lot of spices there to balance it out, which is good. Some oak, but not too much. This minty character is there as well, still. Not as much fruit and all this stuff that I'd maybe thought there would be. So we're left with this sort of smoky, dried herbs, still sweet aftertaste. Seems quite long, quite pleasant. There's nothing wrong with this whiskey at all. It's just not really ringing all those bells that I'd hoped for. So to rate it, the nose. This is one of the cases where it didn't really get better after tasting. It sort of got a little bit, some notes of some old wet socks, but just very, very vague. So the nose, I'd say it's fine enough. It's an 84. The taste, is an 83. And the finish is an 85. So, average for me for this one is 84. There's a lot of good reviews, and I just couldn't find it. But still, 84 is it's a decent score. Just when you get your hopes up a bit, it doesn't seem that high, but it is really not bad. All right. I hope you enjoyed this one as much as I did. Well, you couldn't have, but almost. As always, please feel free to drop me a line, a note, a message, comment, question, suggestion, anything. A like, subscribe. Otherwise, I hope to see you again next time. Cheers.